Hi everyone, and welcome back to Wade Fine Arts. This week I'm going to be going over steps in painting this acrylic Pop Art Bokeh background for a giraffe and bird motif that I'm working on. All supplies and materials will be listed in the description below. Now let's get started. Okay, first this is a 14 by 16 canvas panel, and starting by placing my paint I will be using on this piece. I will place it on a piece of tin foil. The colors are dark blue, ultramarine blue, violet, and black, and then placing a small amount of white next to each to mix as needed. Next we will use a 1 1/4 inch royal length and lane nickel angled brush to put down our base of dark blue over the canvas. Continuing on to get more paint, adding some water as needed and evenly going back and forth and crisscross to get an even coat. Now this layer does not have to need to be perfect, and as it will be getting other layers over it. On this first layer I used some of the dark blue, added quite a bit of white to it, and mixed it until the blue was a lighter color than the base coat. Using a number 15 flat brush with a sufficient amount of paint and water, we'll begin using the side of the brush and pressing it down and then twisting in both directions to get an even circle of paint. And as you can see, I had a little bit too much water on the first few circles that I started laying down, and they began to run and drip. However, if you have this problem, it's not really a big issue, because as you can see, you're going to be overlapping these circles. So any paint that runs will just get covered over with the next circle or the next layer. So don't worry if you have any mistakes, because they're not really mistakes, because they're going to get covered up with the next layer, or even on this same layer as with these circles, since they overlap, it will cover that up. Then to create a kind of bouquet background and change color for each layer. You can also keep the paint wet and use a blending brush to give it a more bouquet look if you would like. However, for this one we're going for a pop art style, so I will not be blending it. Allow each layer to dry before going on to the next layer, or you will just wipe out the previous layer by blending it away or covering it with the other color. It'll just blend all together and create a muddy mess. So be sure to allow each layer to dry before proceeding to the next one. Okay, next we're adding some more white to the ultramarine blue this time to get an even lighter blue than the first layer of circles. Now mixing the violet and the white to get a lighter purple to create some contrast and make it pop, and give it some more color. Then continue to add paint to the brush and fill in the circles and make the color more vibrant and opaque. Now we use the straight violet for a darker and richer violet color and give it more contrast and depth. Also here I switched to a number 12 flat brush to create even smaller circles. And this is the finished piece. This is the finished background, and as you can see, we created a pop art style bouquet looking background for the back of the piece. Hope you enjoyed this piece and enjoyed following along with me on this. Hope to see you in the next video, and be sure and give this a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I have new videos out every Thursday at 3 p.m. so be sure and click that little bell notification so that you'll be sure and get your notifications when I have my next video up. Hope to see you in the next video.